Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. We are the group number 4 with our topic passive voice. The next, please. The next. Okay, I will going to talk about a passive voice in future. And passive voice is used when the subject of the sentences is not the agent, but receive the action. In passive voice sentence, we don't always know who does the action. The agent is extra information and is optional. Okay? Now, how to make simple future passive voice sentence? To make a passive voice sentence, we write the auxiliary verb will followed by the past participle of the main verb. You can see in the example, the structure is subject plus will plus be plus past participle verb. The by and the agent is optional, okay? In the sentence, we have the house is the subject, will be, renovate is the verb in past participle, and by Marco, the complement, okay? Is clear?
Yes.
Okay. The
Yes.
next. In this part, we have sentences in negative. The structure is subject plus will plus not plus be plus past participle verb and the by and agent. Remember, the by plus agent is optional. And in the sentence, we have the house will not be renovated by Marco. Okay? And for interrogative sentences, first we put the auxiliary verb will plus subject plus be plus past participle and the by and agent. And the sentence start with will, the house, the subject, be renovated by Marco. And don't forget to put the question mark. The next. Okay. Now we have the passive voice with future be going to be. You can see in the first part the structure in affirmative that is composed of subject plus be. This verb can be an, is, are, plus going to, plus be, plus verb 3, or past participle. Okay, and in the other hand, you can see in the other box, you can see the sentences. You like see, can you read the sentence, please?
The case is going to be investigated.
Very good. And in this case, the agent by the police is optional, only if you want to put them in the sentence, okay? In negative, the structure is the same, but we add not. Subject plus be can be and is are plus not plus going to plus be and the verb in past participle. Selena, are you there?
Yes.
Please read the next example.
The second one?
Yeah. The second, please.
The case is not going to be investigated by the police.
Very good. And in contraction, we can use the case isn't going to be investigated by the police. And finally, you can see the structure in question, okay? In interrogative form. At the beginning, we put be and is are plus subject plus going to plus be plus the verb in past participle plus question mark. Verónica, please
Yeah.
read the example.
Is the case going to be investigated?
Very good. Is clear until here, until there?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, guys. Now, let's continue with a topic that is just a complement to the previous topic of my classmate Adriana, which is the future perfect, okay? The future perfect tense refers to a completed action in the future. When we use this tense, we are projecting ourselves forward into the future and looking back at an action that will be completed sometime later than now. It is most often used with a time expression, okay? The main idea in this paragraph is that it's an action that will be completed sometime later than now, okay? If we talk about later, we're talking about the future, right? So the structure, as we can see, is will have been or be going to have been in this case, and the other complement, okay? So let's continue now with examples, okay? Okay, well, the examples are similar to the previous one, but these ones are in different tenses, okay? The first one, you will have finished your report by this time next week. In this case, this is an affirmative sentence which represents an action that will be completed sometime in the future. In this case, this sentence is specifying that it will be completed or finished the next week. So next week is the future, right? Then in negative, you won't have finished your report by this time next week. This is the same as the previous one, but just in a negative case, okay? It is also mentioning a completed action in the future, but in this case, it's negative. That's why instead of will, it says won't. And also there are in question forms. So will you have finished your report by this time next week? Okay, so it is the same as the previous one, but this is just a question, okay? It is asking if it's possible that this action will be completed sometime in the future. That's why this is the future perfect tense. Okay, and now I need, please, someone to help me reading the first examples. And the next example, I don't know if Selena could help me, please.
Okay. You will have finished your report by this time next week.
Okay, that's the one that I just read. So please help me reading the next one, the one that says I will.
Okay. I will have been here for 6 months on June 23.
Okay, can you hear me? Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so the example that Selena read, which says I will have been here for 6 months on June 23rd, it represents an action that will be take place in the future. So if we're talking about a expression time, in this case is June 23rd, okay? So it means that this time has not arrived yet, but it is in a near future, okay? So please, Veronica, could you help me reading the second example?
By the time you read this, I will have left.
Okay, this one is also represents an action that will take place in the future. which means that when the person is reading, I will have left already. So the action of leaving will take place in the future, okay? And now please, Yulacy, could you help me reading the last example?
Will you have eaten when I pick you up?
Okay, and so to finish this in this topic, as Yulacy read, this action will also take place in the future, the action of eating, okay, when the person picks the speaker up in this case. So is it clear until here to move forward?
Yes.
Yeah, okay guys, thank you. Now let's move on to the next topic.
Okay, guys, now let's talk about the future as seen from the past. Okay, when do we use the future as seen from the past? We use it when we want to indicate future events or possibilities from that earlier perspective, okay? It involves predictions, expectations, or perspective about events, advancements that will occur beyond the present time frame, okay? In here we can use it in many tense, but here I will explain two of them, with will be and with was or were going to be, I'm sorry. The first one with will be, the structure is the subject, the past tense verb, the object, the modal verb, which is would, then be the past participle verb, and then the rest of the sentence or the complement, okay? Yulacy, can you help me reading the example, please?
Leonardo da Vinci correctly predicted ships would be designed to travel underwater.
Okay, as you can see, Leonardo da Vinci is the subject. Then we have the predicted, that is the past tense verb. Then we have the object, that which is ships. Then we have the modal verb would, then be, and then we have the past participle verb, which is designed, and then the rest of the sentence, which is to travel underwater. Okay, is it understood until now? Yes. Okay, thank
Yeah.
you. Next, please. Then we have was or were going to. Okay, and this structure is not so different from the previous one, but have a little bit of difference. Okay, the first thing that you have to put is the subject, then the past tense verb, then the object, and then you put was, were, going to, and the infinitive verb. In here, you don't have to change the verb in past or past participle. No, you have to put the verb in the form base, in the base form, I'm sorry, and then the rest of the sentence. Okay, Selena, could you help me reading the example, please? Yes. No one really believed COVID-19 pandemic was going to be spread around the world so quickly. Okay, as you can see, believed is the past tense verb. Then we have the object, which is pandemic, and then we have was going to be, and then we have the spread, which is the verb in the base form, and the complement, which is around the world so quickly. Okay, next please. When do we use it? When do we know that we have to use this tense? Well, we can use it for reporting in the past. For example, they anticipated that the project would be completed by the end of the year. Okay, they anticipated that that would happen in the future. Okay, is a prediction. It's an expectation. Okay, and for historical narration, for example, in the 19th century, it was believed that by the 20th century, space travel will be achieved. Okay, is something that they believed that would happen, and it did happen. So it's an expectation. It's an perspective. I'm sorry. It's a perspective about an event in the future, talking in the past. Okay. That is my explanation about this tense. Now let's do some exercises. Okay.
Okay, now let's practice. These sentences are in the passive voice, and I need to choose, and according to previous explanation, the correct answer. And you identify if the correct answer is letter A, B, C, or D. Veronica, can you help me with the first example exercise?
Yes. The new building, the answer is B. The new building will be constructed by next year.
Yes, and this sentence, the focus is on the action of the constructing of the building, and the sentence is in the future tense. The passive voice is used to emphasizes the building as the object of the action. Next, please. And Selena, can you help me with the second example?
Okay, I consider that the answer is the letter T.
Yes. Yes, this sentence is in the future perfect passive. It emphasizes the completion of the baking process before a specific future time. And Jean-Pierre, can you help me with the next exercise?
Okay, yes. For the next activity, the answer is the letter D. So the full sentence will be all the tickets will have been sold by the time the concert starts.
Yes, this sentence is in the future perfect passive because it emphasizes the completion of the selling process before a specific future event, the concert start. And Vero, can you help me with the next one? Are you lazy?
Yes.
Can you help me?
By the time that the preparations are going to have been finished.
Yes, they choose suggest the completion of preparation before a specific point in the future. And the last one, Jean-Pierre, can you help me?
For the last one, the answer is the letter A. So the full sentence will be the report is going to be submitted by the deadline.
Yes, it's letter A because this indicates the future action of submit the report by the deadlines in passive voice.
Okay, guys, um, let's practice the future as seen from the past. Okay, here we have the sentence in active voice, and then we have to do in the passive voice, right? Okay, and someone hear me? Will you read the sentence, please? Verónica Mendoza.
Okay, and active is the weather forecast said there was going to be rain, and the passive is maybe Rain was predicated by the weather forecast.
That's correct. Because was going to be used to describe a plane or expect future event that didn't occur, right? Okay. Um, okay. And the next, someone help me please, another person. Uh, Selena. Or
I will read it. I'll read it. Okay. The activist, she anticipated that her birthday party was going to be a surprise.
okay. In the passive voice.
Okay, so in the passive voice will be the anticipation was that her birthday party will be a surprise.
That's correct, my friends. That reason is we use was going to be a surprise, but her friend revealed it accidentally, right? Okay, here we use the was going to be used to convey the anticipation of a future event in this case, right? And next, my friend. Oh, is that all for the exposition?
Okay, guys, that's all. Thank you.